Welcome to Math Magic with Mrs. Fredette. So today we're talking about benchmark fractions. So what is a benchmark fraction? Well, it's a number that we use a lot. You've probably already heard of a lot of these, like 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/10, things like that. We see them all the time in the world around us. So we're going to define what those benchmark fractions are, and then we're going to plot them on a number line so we can compare them and really see which ones are bigger, which ones are smaller. That way we know how to compare them later when we do other projects, other real world kind of things. So I'm going to explain all that to you, show you how to do it here on a number line, and then I'm going to give you a chance to do it as well in your math journals. Are you ready? Here we go. All right, we are going to plot some benchmark fractions on our number line. So I'm going to walk through this and then you're going to do it. You can do it along with me, or you can watch and then do it after I've completed it. But at the end of this, when you walk away, you need to have a number line with benchmark fractions marked on it in your math journal. Ready to go? All right, we need a straight edge and we need some colored pencils. First thing I'm going to do is make my number line, just drawing right along my straight edge. For this, we only need to go from 0 on the left side to 1 on the right side. All right, first color I'm going to use, you can use whatever colors you like, but use a different color for each benchmark fraction. First one we're going to do is 1/2. So that looks like this, 1/2, which means we need to divide the number line into 2 pieces. So right here in about the middle, I'm going to put my mark and I'm going to label this 1/2. There we go. The next one we're going to do is 1/3. I'm going to pick up a new color and I'm going to write 1/3. This means that we have to divide our number line into 3 pieces. 3 equal pieces, as equal as we can make them. So I'm going to go about here, and the other one would be about here. And I'm only going to label this first one. This is 1/3. Next one we're going to do is 1/4. So let's write that up here, 1/4, which means I need my number line divided into 4 pieces. Well, I've already got one that's divided in 2, so I can use that. I'm going to take that and then divide each of those 2 sections into just 2 pieces. So if I come here and I look to about the middle, that's going to be about right here, and that's 1/4. I can do it on the other side, but we're not labeling anything over there right at this moment. There's 1/4. All right, 1/5. Next one up is 1/5. So I've got my orange. I'm going to put it up at the top, 1/5. Now 1/5, that means I've got to divide my number line into 5 equal pieces. Okay, so I can't really use any of my existing marks directly, but I know that if I'm going to divide this into 5, those pieces are going to be just a little bit smaller, right? Just a little bit smaller. If you had a pizza and you had to divide that pizza among 5 people, those slices would be a little bit smaller than if you just had to divide it over 4 people. Or you can think about $1, right? If I divide $1 into 4 parts, that's 25 cents each, right? A quarter. If I divide that same dollar into 5 parts, that means they're about 20 cents each, right? So just a little bit smaller than the 1/4. I'm going to put it right here. And again, we're not terribly concerned with where those marks are down the line, so we're just going to label this 1/5 and move on to our next one. All right, the next one we're going to do, I'm picking up another color. This color is going to be purple. We are going to do 1/8. 1/8. So 1/8, that's kind of got a relationship with 1/4. If I divide my 1/4 space in half, that will give me 2 spaces there, right? And then that would give me 8 spaces across the whole thing, because if I had 4 spaces, and each of those 4 spaces I divide into 2 spaces more each, 4 times 2 is 8. So that will work. So I'm just going to look at this space right here, and I'm going to come about halfway, and I'm going to make my mark 1/8. There we go. A couple left to go. Next one we're going to do is 1/10. 1/10 with my red pencil. So 1/10 is half of 1/5, right? Because 5 times 2 is 10. So if I take my 1/5 segment and I divide that in 2, I'm going to get a segment that is about 1/10 of my number line. Great job. Last one we're going to do is 1/100th. 1/100th. This is very, very tiny, very, very small. Let's write it at the top, 1/100. This means we would take this number line and divide it into 100 equal pieces, or like $1, right? $1 is 100 cents, 100 pennies. Same thing. I would take this space from 0 to 1/10, though, for our purposes, and I would think, okay, if I divide that into 10 pieces, that would give me my tenths, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And there is my 1/100th. So there's your number line. I want to see from each of you a number line in your math journal that has these 7 benchmark fractions labeled. Have fun.